recording.
Record. Time to record.
Oh, well, I'm just going to let them know right now. It's episode 24. Welcome back, Kitchen Hook Podcast. I know our episodes are getting a little longer apart, but hey, like we keep saying, it is summertime. There's not much basketball and RMAC stuff to talk about yet, but it's going to start picking up here very soon. Very soon.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I forgot Team USA. Their Team USA
that was the topic I wanted to talk to you about. We're on the same page right now, Bush.
That's what happens when you get 24 episodes in, man. It just starts clicking.
Start on that. What I've pulled up their exhibition roster or their exhibition schedule.
Uh-huh.
They took down Puerto Rico pretty handily.
Mm-hmm.
Beat Slovenia pretty handily without Luka.
That sucked. Yeah, I was hoping Luka could play, but it is what it is.
Yeah, and then just beat Spain by 10, and then they play Greece on
Mm-hmm.
Friday.
Uh-huh.
Have you watched any of those games?
I haven't been able to, no.
Me either.
They're all early, like, I guess the one on Saturday against New Zealand is at 6:40 in the morning, so I'll try and catch that before Actually, I'll watch it probably when I'm driving to Rapid because I have to ref. Wait, hence, sorry, I'm not gonna watch anything and drive. I'm gonna listen and drive. I'm not a dangerous person.
There you go. Good save.
Nope.
Yeah, but what's kind of your, like, I got their roster right here.
Mm-hmm.
Some notable guys, I think. Anthony Edwards, I've seen him make some headlines. I like seeing Jalen Brunson on the team. Brandon Ingram.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Portis.
I like that one. That one was a good. That's the type of guy you do need on your national team.
Who's Big 14? The big white dude. I don't know who that is.
Walker Kessler.
Oh, that's Walker Kessler. Okay.
Is it? Hold on, I'm trying to get into the. What the?
I don't have the names of the people right here. I'm just going by the faces. But I think, like, here's kind of my first thoughts while you're looking for that stuff.
Yeah. Oh, 14. Yeah, Walker Kessler. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's Walker Kessler. Okay. I think the USA, talent-wise, is always going to be at the top or near the top of what's being put out there at these World Games. You know what I mean? So whether it's the World Championships or the Olympics or whatever it is. But I don't, as far as I know, I don't remember any of these guys being on Olympic teams in the past. And I think we've talked about this on past episodes, is the international game is just played and straight up officiated differently than NBA games. Mm-hmm. And that is an adjustment that you hear a lot of NBA players that have played internationally talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see what they do, to adjust to that FIBA style of game. But I like some of these dudes on here. I think they're as talented as you're going to get.
Yeah. I know, because I remember Dwight Howard said, he's like, I love the FIBA rules because shot goes on the rim, I can jump up and get that. I can take it off the rim. You know what I mean? If it's like just hanging on the rim, I can grab it off or put it in. There's no offense. There's no like goaltending, which I enjoy. But in the end, like you said, it's such a different game that I don't think it would work necessarily too well in the NBA because it's not as physical. So you're going to see a lot more action at the rim, and you just have a lot more like plays where you're like, damn, that's just straight goaltending. You got guys like, in FIBA play like this, you don't have Anthony Davises and dudes like that on every team. NBA has ADs, Rudy Gobert's, Carl, like bigs on every team that can shot block. So you'd be seeing all that all game long, I think. And the way it's not as physical. But to the roster point you were saying, I ain't gonna lie, I kind of dogged them when they first released this roster because I was like, really?
Did you?
Yeah, I just didn't see experience, and that was the biggest thing in the last. not the last two Olympics that I really noticed is, like you said, the international game is getting so much. It's so different, and it's excelling now, right? And
Mm,
other countries are starting to catch up, and so experience is so key. And I just like I looked at this team at first, and I'm like, no one on this team has anyone played in the Olympics. Like I've never, you know what I mean? Do any of these guys have
yeah.
that type of experience? Yada yada yada. And that win against Spain, I was like, okay, damn, they just beat the host country in their own country in Spain. I'm pretty sure. So I was like, okay, they're good because I forget how good Anthony Edwards is, dude. That dude's gonna he's gonna be
Mm.
he's a superstar. He's gonna be that guy for
The
a long
interesting thing to me too is like you think of some of those Olympic teams or those USA teams in the past, how like Carmelo Anthony, his game really translated well to the FIBA. You know, I think he's one of the all-time leading scorers, if not the all-time leading
Mm-hmm.
scorer in NBA international history for the United States. But um, don't you can fact check me on that. I'm actually not sure, but I know he's up there. Um, but yeah, he played on a bunch of those World Championship and Olympic teams and
Yeah,
World Cup teams that were really successful. So I'm interested to see who on this roster really kind of finds the flow of that.
yeah, and
Don't hate on my cup too. I know I'm about to get some comments on my
oh,
cup.
your flower cup.
I left my water bottle. Yeah.
Did you show it off? Because I was on it. I was in a different page. I was on the. I was looking at the deal. Show the people again. You know, let them know. Let them see.
No, but I know someone's gonna catch it, so it's right here. You know, it keeps things nice and cool, keeps things nice and ready to go.
Okay, you were close. Carmelo Anthony is second all time with 336 career
Mm,
Team USA points. The leader is KD, which doesn't shock me because he's played.
mm, okay.
Melo played in the Olympics. Melo, that was really Melo's Team USA experience. If you look back at
Oh,
KD,
really?
KD played a
Okay.
lot of those World Cups too, so he has more, I think, games under his belt because he has
Mm.
435 points, so he's 100 points over that. And then it's Braun at
Oh, wow.
273 on third. But secondly, too, like I think I think this roster got a lot of like wasn't believed in a lot because look at who we grew up watching on Team USA.
Yeah,
We watched
absolutely.
the I'll go down saying the '08 team was the Redeem team was to me the best Olympic team out there. I truly think that they would have beat
Mm.
the 90 was it the 92 Olympic team?
92.
I do.
92,
I
yeah.
do the Dream Team. I think they would have beat them. And
Mm.
just based off, I mean, just a little athleticism and all that stuff. I know the Dream Team was running at cats, but the international game wasn't quite there yet, you know.
Mm.
And they were a bunch of no. The international game had never seen superstars like that. That was the first time Team USA brought in a full roster of NBA guys that are the dudes, you know. And
I think the first time in a while, yeah.
uh huh,
That was kind of when they brought back professional players into international
uh
play for
huh.
the United States because it was college guys for a while, I think.
Team USA 2008. But like, I just remember watching highlights of this team, and I'm thinking, bro, this they're dunking on everybody. They're running dudes out of the gym. I mean, it was just so much fun to
Mm.
watch them play. I watched Kobe play with LeBron and D Wade and all those guys. That's what you wanted to see.
Yeah, man. That was beautiful.
That team had Bron, D Wade, Kobe, Dwight Howard, CP3, Carmelo, Tayshaun Prince, Darren Williams, Jason Kidd, Carlos Boozer. Like, dude.
Anthony Davis, I think he was in college, wasn't he?
Yeah. No, he was on the
Or was he was
2012. He
2012.
was
Yeah, that's right.
2012. That was a good
Yeah.
team too. That was a really good team
Yeah.
too. I just still think 20 or '08 was the best one because that was prime Kobe. That was that was pretty much prime D Wade, and LeBron James
Yeah.
was 4 years in the league, 5 years in the league. So they all had
Yeah.
experience, and that was just the best team I think ever assembled for Team USA.
Yeah, man, I think on both the Dream Team and Redeem Team, they had all-time greats, so it would be a heavyweight boxing match. But I think your point to, at least from our perspective, looking at this team, it's not what we're used to at all. You know what
No.
I mean? And this could end up being a very good international team that ends up winning the FIBA World
Hmm.
Cup. Who knows? Like we'll see what happens, but I think that's so spot on, dude. What you just said.
Yeah, and two, I think when the Olympics come around, roster will definitely be better and different. You'll see like KD probably, you'll probably see more of the
Mm,
superstars and those types of dudes. Even they are getting a little older, but who knows? I mean,
yeah,
I would like to see Steph and all those guys on the court together. That would be fun to watch as a basketball fan and whatnot.
yeah,
But I don't know. I
it
think
would indeed.
I think are gonna be it's a tough out, dude. Brunson is good. Michael Bridges is good. Paulo's good. Like it's a good team, a really solid team. When you really kind of look at
Hmm.
this roster, they have what they need.
Yeah, they. I hope I'm able to watch some of the games
Me too.
because it'll be interesting to see what they look like. And maybe they will have a hiccup, in a game or two, but um, I hope they do well, and I hope they give a good showing for old USA.
For sure. I'm gonna ask you something though. As we talked about this a little bit today, because when I woke up and I saw this, I thought I was dreaming when I first saw the video of James Harden calling Daryl Morey a liar. I was like, "Huh? Did this really happen?" Because I'd never seen anything like that. And then I kind of
Yeah,
put my phone away and I didn't think anything of it because I was still like half asleep. And then I remember like an hour later, I looked at my phone again. I'm like, "Damn, this really happened. This is a real thing." Like
yeah.
I thought that was a lie or something like that. How do you feel about that? Just how he went about it.
Um, I don't know. I think what we talked about a little bit today is kind of my feelings on it, which are like this is the second or third place he's kind of like forced his way out of, it seems like,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And as good as James Harden is and was with Houston and all that type of stuff, and maybe he's still that player. I think he showed spurts of that for sure this year. Um, but I don't know. Like, is there somebody else you can replace him with, or is there a team that will be like, we want to take on James Harden, even knowing what he brings to the table? But um,
Mm.
I just kind of want to know where he's coming from with wanting out of all these places that he kind of like reached out to or
Yeah.
wanted to be a part of initially. You know what I
Yes.
mean? I want to know what's leading him to all of a sudden be like, all right, I want out and I want out right now.
Mm-hmm. I agree. That is just so strange. Um, I think it's also the culture we live in today in the NBA. David Stern's league before when David Stern was the commissioner. This stuff never happened. He never he this you know what I mean. Like you did not see players force their way out of contracts. They would demand a trade to maybe get more money, like Kobe did in '07.
Mm,
Um, but that's them trying to threaten their way to get more money. But now it's oh I'm not gonna report. I'm not gonna show up. I won't play for you. You
mm.
might as well just trade me. And it's like that's such a petty way to go about it. But like I did see something like he better figure this out because if he waits 30 days and doesn't report or anything like that during training camp, then Philly has the right to waive his free agency next year and basically be like, all right, cool, we're not going to pay you and we're not going to trade you, we're not going to put you on the market.
So you were saying that's part of the new collective bargaining agreement.
Yeah, and because I think like CJ McCollum, he's his whole idea behind it because he's the leader that is his whole is to
Yeah.
eliminate this. super team thing. This whole like how the Celtics, the Heat, the Warriors, all those teams kind of just were like, hey, let's form up, let's combine and be a
Yeah.
super team. And granted, those were different situations because when they did combine or did form, they did have where they were free agents and stuff, so they were able to do that the right way. But it's another part of the way of just being like, no, you're not going to force your way out no more. We're not doing this.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's I think it's but like in James Harden's situation, who knows what he's trying to do or where he is trying to go. But I don't know. I said it to you over text message. It just doesn't feel calculated. Like I don't know what the setting. I don't know what the setting was that he said that. It looked like he was in
He's in China.
He was in China or something. Like yeah, it looked like he wasn't even in America
Yeah.
that I know that doesn't mean anything, but like it was just a weird scene where I was kind of like, why is he dropping this huge news in front of these people that who knows who they are? I don't know. Maybe there's some big wigs over there.
I think someone asked him a question. Because afterwards he did say something, and I could hear someone in the background ask another question, try and ask a question. So I think he was doing something like that, like a question deal for fans. I don't know. I don't know, but I know there was people behind the camera asking him that.
Yeah, but I was just shocked that he decided to do that right there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't know what that accomplishes, I guess.
No, I don't either. I really don't think it accomplishes anything because like I told you, and like I saw that post, people probably saw in my story, that Mad Dog Russo said that I don't want that. If I'm a GM, I don't want that. Okay, cool. James Harden's on the market. I don't want that because okay, if I don't please him for a year or two, what's he going to do? Force his way out and screw us? Like that's cancer in a locker room, and how cancer in a locker room can be in basketball or in sports in general. Like one person can really just bring the whole locker room to just hell and drag them through hell and back, just with attitude and stuff like just like what James Harden is kind of doing. Because even if I'm on that team, I'm like, damn, bro, just don't show up, then leave. Like I don't want you. But the interesting part was Joel Embiid eliminated all the Philadelphia 76ers affiliations from his Twitter account too after that. Yeah. He removed Philadelphia as his location, and then a couple. I think
where did you see this?
Someone posted it, and then it was talked about on ESPN this morning when I was watching Get Up with them and whatnot. Like he has no Philadelphia stuff, and then I saw someone make the idea of Portland could be in the
Are you
very
throwing up over there or something?
No,
What's
I'm
going
good,
on,
man.
dude?
I got the hiccups.
All right, what were you saying?
Portland, I could see Portland now. They have the best trade package for a rebuilding Sixers team. Trade them all that stuff that you could get rid of for Joel Embiid, and then you have Embiid and Dame run it at the 1 and 5. That's scary, in my opinion.
That's stupid right there. Yeah, that would be.
What do you do in the pick?
That would be quite the duo.
What do you do in that pick and roll? Because in the NBA, they switch everything.
That I feel like that would kind of be like a Jamal Murray Jokic pick and roll right there, where it's just, hey, we're gonna go with this coverage for a little while, and if it doesn't work, we'll try something else. We'll throw the whole playbook at him.
It'd be interesting for sure.
That would be crazy, though.
It'd be interesting for sure. I don't know if it'll happen because Joel Embiid, his name is Joel Troel Embiid on Twitter, so he does like to troll. So he's always been that way. It's just something interesting. I thought I saw that popped up and I was like, dang.
It's on Bleacher Report right here.
This whole just drama, man. The NBA, I swear, you think it'd be drama free, and then all of a sudden you wake up the next day, and just breaking, just boom, everything, all
Yeah.
hell breaks loose.
And we're not too far away from the season starting. When does that
October,
start?
October,
October. So a
August,
couple
September.
months, I
Ooh,
guess.
2 months away. Sheesh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. Talk about
Yeah, man.
things went by fast, man. Things went by really fast.
It really did. The summer coaching, I was thinking about this coaching AAU, and I guess for me specifically, traveling back and forth to
Mhm.
Denver. Oh man, that made the summer fly by.
Yeah. Well, you're just busy all the time. You know what I mean? Like you're just constantly
Mm-hmm.
busy, which makes it to be you're not on your phone. You're not always checking the time. You know how it is.
Yeah,
Like when you're in a boring ass class and you're always looking up at the clock, like this sucks. But it seems like you've been there for
time's
20
moving
minutes
slow.
and it's been five.
Yeah,
Damn, I want to get up and leave right now.
man, that brings back just traumatizing memories of sitting there
And
sometimes
it,
in class after like a 6 a.m. weights or 6 a.m. conditioning
uh
and just being like, this is an hour and a half long class and we're 7 minutes in
That's
right
what I was gonna say.
now.
I was just about to say that never happened to me on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays because those classes were 50, 45, 50 minutes, just quick to the point. Let's get in, get
Oh
out.
yeah.
Tuesdays and Thursdays though, an hour and 15 for a class. Get me a just no, I'm good.
Oh
Come
man,
on, man. Like I need my time, please.
I need
It's
it.
too long to be sitting there watching my chemistry teacher tell me all this stuff, and I'm like, dude, I am strong. I don't know what this is. I can't put this
In
into my notebook and then let it.
At Black Hills, did you ever have like a crazy day or a couple days during the week where it was like we had morning workouts or something
Oh yeah,
and then you had class from basically till practice
oh yeah,
after that?
oh yeah. And it
Yeah.
always it seemed like it happened when I got older when you had to take certain classes, but they were only offered at certain times, and it was just
Yeah.
which I'm not gonna. I mean, my classes when I got older did get easier because I switched my major to mass communications. So that's like an easier area, an easier
Mm.
emphasis of a major. But just the load of work, sometimes you'd be like, man, nah, I'm tired. That test sucked. Oh, I got to go set up for practice now. Like, dang.
Were you in exercise science at first with us?
The reason I was in this
Cuz I
because the
think I
reason
remember.
I was doing a coaching minor, so I had to take all those classes.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Because
I remember you being in a couple classes, I think.
our anatomy class with Dr.
Oh
Hessen,
man.
and
Oh
then
man.
I'd say that class sucked the most. The best class in the world was Tony's class, though, coaching philosophies. That was that was
Yeah.
badass. Tony was the goat.
Butter.
Shout out Tony, man. That's the one professor
Shout
that
out Tony.
you'd walk in on a Thursday morning and he'd be in there and be like, "What's up, guys? Go home." Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah,
See ya.
yeah.
I'm out.
He did. You're right. He would do
Yeah, I
that.
mean, me and you showed up one morning after practice. It was one morning after practice. And we were just like, man, we're not having it because it was like a practice, and then you guys went and did a conditioning drill that I participated in just to do it. And walking into class,
Mm.
and Tony goes, "What's up, guys? Go home. Go get some rest."
Yeah.
Huh? Are you serious? See you later.
Oh man, those were the days where you just felt super blessed. You know,
The best one,
just
yeah.
felt like it was gonna be a good one.
I always enjoyed getting up getting up in the morning and then getting on your email real quick or getting an email on your phone saying, "Hey, classes are canceled due to weather. Teachers can't make it from Rapid City." Like, oh yeah, close those roads.
Oh yeah. You know we still have practice though.
Damn right. Why wouldn't we?
You better get your butt to the Young Center still. It's
Last year,
always open.
dog. Last year, the snowstorm that came through Spearfish that kind of postponed the games a little bit, or almost made it like they weren't going to be able to play because everything was shut down in South Dakota. It was like you weren't there for that snowstorm, but it was like the snowstorm that we went to where the snow was like up to our chests. It wasn't that deep
Yeah.
last year, but Ragsdale texts me. He goes, "This dude Thompson is having us practice." I'm like, "You damn right." I was like, "Bro, we had."
Yeah.
I was like, "We practiced in that too. Don't worry. You know how many times we had snow days? Oh, hey, you guys can't make it. You can't drive. Walk. You got boots.
Yeah, you better get to practice.
All right, see you there."
That's a regular day as a college athlete, man. Come on now.
Why did that just happen?
What?
My Spotify just started playing music through my headphones, and I'm listening to you talk, and I'm listening to music. That was weird. That's true.
What started slapping on the headphones?
Some Polo G.
Oh, nice, dude.
Yeah. Older people are gonna be like, "Who the hell is that?" Just don't even worry about it. Just don't even worry about it.
You talking about me, Bush? Because no. I know who that is. Actually, I do.
You do. He's one of those newer dudes that I like. He's actually kind of like his music because I can understand what the hell he's saying. He's not some jibber jabber, jump
shot, jibber jabber jump shot.
Yeah, like come on, dude. I'm not trying to listen to you say ad libs the whole song. Can you just play music? Can we have some words that flow like J. Cole or something?
Like Dom.
Oh, take it away, Dom.
Take it away, Dom.
Every time we had post weights, post practice, something, post workout in the summertime for a stretch, Hilgs would go into the locker room, into the bathroom, and just say, "Hey, take it away, Dom." Close the stall door, and then we'd be listening to OPM for the next 4 or 5 minutes.
I feel it wasn't it before weights. I feel like it was before weights.
It was. It was, dude. You'd walk in. You wouldn't even. You just set your stuff down. Take it away, Dom.
Yeah, take it away, Dom.
Oh man.
If you don't know, listen to Dom Kennedy. Listen to Dom Kennedy. All right.
Dom Kennedy is a goatee.
His older stuff though.
Yes.
You know, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of his last couple projects, but
that's how I am with a lot
Get
of
Home Safely.
It's weird.
You can find the Yellow album somewhere,
because
listen to that.
I'm the same way with a lot of my like artists that are still popular today, but I like that their older stuff when they first became big. Like I enjoyed
like who?
Like Wiz Khalifa's older stuff. Wiz Khalifa's first album, Rolling Papers, is like my favorite album of all time. Mac Miller, Blue Slide Park, up there. Like those types of Drake's earlier albums when he was first. If you're reading this, it's too late. Those types of albums. All the Lil Wayne.
Like if you're reading this, it's too late. Wow. Yeah, Lil Wayne.
Carter.
Those ones where his old stuff is almost.
If you're listening to this, it's too late. Is not the album I'm thinking of.
Nothing was the same.
And Thank Me Later.
Thank Me Later.
Thank Me Later. I was in like.
Yeah, that's definitely more his old stuff. Yeah. I would say if you're reading this, it's too late. That's
newer.
Kind of starting to get more into his.
Yeah.
Somewhat newer stuff, even though it was
because Views came out the next year with the year after that.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was a road I didn't expect to go down, but
I know. Well, you told a story about me sitting on the porcelain throne before weights in the morning. All right, and that's the road we went down.
That's so funny though. I'm gonna start sending out some emails here soon because I know I finally got some kickback, but our Twitter went crazy on that RMAC thing. So
emails,
yeah, to the coaches. I'm gonna try and get coaches.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't have coaches' numbers. I'll email them and then I'll try and find ways to get players too. But I just think that would be interesting to hear a player's point of view and a coach's point of view of what they're looking forward to. And since there's a couple new coaches in the RMAC, I'm kind of interested in that. Like Adam State and Western coaches, I'm interested to see changes, what their ideas are, if they want to share that, stuff like that. So that's something I'm gonna be doing soon. So you got some of your email address so I can tag you in these so they know who we are, which some majority of these people will know who we are.
But I think also doing like, if the coach don't want to do it, we can get a play.
Yeah, for sure.
If the play,
for sure.
If we don't end up getting everybody,
that's fine.
It is what it is. But maybe we can get a few. And
I think if we can get a few, then others will start seeing it, and there'll be a kickback. And I think that it'll kind of be like, oh, I want in on this. I want to be in on this. Because if the RMAC starts seeing it too, the RMAC account, and they repost it, I'm sure other people will be like, oh, I want to, let me get my stuff out there too. I want to talk.
We'll see. We'll cast a hook and see if some fish bite.
Oh, I'm always fishing. Always.
Yeah, I know you are.
Always trying to find a big fish out there.
Because you're a dog.
Absolutely. Born and bred in spearfish. That's where that happened.
They brought the dog out.
King Street.
Yeah, baby.
R.I.P.
If you don't know, you won't know.
Sorry, it is what it is on that one. Because those are stories that can't be told here. We'll leave it at that.
Not on record.
Not on the record. So next year, this coming season, I think I want to. Okay, I'm gonna ask you this first before I go into what I said. Who do you think is the one guy that we have that has had that's been an MVP before, but it's kind of been down a little bit? That's going to make like a big run to be MVP race next year, because it's been Jokic and Embiid the last 3 years. So I'm curious curious to see if it changes up and whatnot.
That's a good question. I don't know. My mind goes to Steph Curry.
Okay.
Just because, I don't know, man. I think he's got a lot of dog left in him. Speaking of having dog in you,
he has a ton of dog left in him. People don't write Steph Curry off too early.
Yeah, man. I think he's still got MVP level abilities, no question about it. Dude, that's a good question. I really want to say LeBron, partly to piss you off, but also because I truly believe it.
I don't think he'll play 65 games.
That's fair. Is that the new stipulation?
You have to play 65 games.
Yeah.
I don't. You never know though. You never know.
Yeah. What? I don't know. Who's your? I'm gonna say my pick is gonna be Steph Curry.
I'm taking Giannis.
Yeah.
I think
I had a feeling because you mentioned that.
Because I think he last year in the playoffs, I think that one might have just lit a fire under him. I do, and I could see him coming out and just taking over like he did that year he won the MVP. And to be honest with you saying that Steph Curry got a lot of dog in him, I got this written down. I say Golden State versus the Bucks in the finals, 7 games, and it's Steph's last. It's the Warriors' last big hoorah of a championship. I do, and I'm gonna write it, and I'm gonna write it until they prove me wrong, because that is a dynasty that has won. Those guys know how to win, and it's like I'm not putting Steph Curry on the same level as Tom Brady, but he's one of those dudes you can't count out. You can't bet against Steph Curry. You really can't. And if you guys have Apple TV, to be honest with you, I highly recommend just going and getting the free trial for a week and watching what's that called?
I watched that too. Underrated.
Underrated.
Yeah, you're right.
And Steph Curry, breaking news, people. Steph Curry has been doing this his whole life. He's been doing this his whole entire life at every level. So
Mm.
it is like, I just thought it was so cool how everything changed over one summer of just shooting the right way, doing shooting drills the right way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to go on a tangent here, but kids these days want to be like Steph Curry, but they take 10 shots inside the 3-point line, and then it's like, oh, I'm ready. Now it's time to go shoot threes.
Yeah.
And the reason Steph got as good as he did is because his dad didn't let him shoot outside of 15 feet for a whole summer, to change
Mm-hmm.
everything, to change his whole entire form, to build that habit and make his body adjust. And I just sat there and I would listen to that, and I was like, that is such a forgotten trait in wanting to become a better shooter on so many levels for younger kids, and even people who are training younger kids to change their shot or be more efficient with shooting. Is you can't just start shooting 3-pointers, because you'll never break those bad habits. Those bad habits will stay forever. You have to really break it down.
Well, and it's got to be an understand. Like, this is what I tell parents and kids, because parents will come up to you and say he does this with his shot, and a lot of times they're right. Whether it's they shoot two-handed or whatever the case may be. Um, and I don't know if people realize it's not just about changing one or two things with the shot and then it's all of a sudden going to be good. It's you're going to rep this out and you're going to miss a ton of shots.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to get really frustrated and you're going to think it's not working.
Mm-hmm.
But you're changing the muscle memory of what you're doing, and relating it back to what you were talking about with Steph Curry. I feel like that was just an understanding, maybe from Steph a little bit, but I would say mostly probably from his dad,
Absolutely.
of understanding the bigger picture, that the way Steph shoots right now, it goes in, and maybe he's a good shooter at this age and the level he plays at, but it's not going to translate. But not to go on too much of that tangent, is like, I guess my point is, real simply, is people don't understand what it takes to change your shot.
Agreed.
It's not just about rep three, make three, doing form shooting, back it up, make three more at each spot, doing form shooting, and then you're good to go. Mm-hmm. That's not what it is.
Mm-hmm. I'm putting for the workouts, I'm putting these kids through some stuff that I've seen NBA players do. I saw this drill that Duncan Robinson does. He'll like catch it facing the basket, jump to his right, face the sideline, square up, and then jump back and then shoot it. And and then, like, when Kevin Durant spins on one foot, have you seen those videos when he's warming up and spinning around?
That's called European shooting. Uh-huh. Yeah, he, like, where he'll do a hop into a shot or whatever. Yeah.
So I have these kids doing it, in the first couple of days, they just look at me like, what are you teaching us? And I even told them, like, I'll be honest with you, you're gonna think I'm a dumbass, and people coming in are gonna think that I'm a dumbass. But realistically, you'll never do this in a game. What this is helping you break down getting your feet set off balance. Okay, how can I stay on balance if I sidestep without, before the dribble? Like, let's break down the sidestep first, add the dribble later, once you are comfortable with this footwork. And it's just, like you said, repetition after repetition after repetition, and you're going to miss shots. And it is what it is. Like Steph Curry said in that, he looked at his mom and said, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't like I just want to, you know what I mean? He almost wanted to quit. And then they told him the bigger picture, like, hey, do you want to be elite? Do you want to be great? Well, this is what you have to do. You have to do this.
Well, she told him, she said to him, she was like, okay, if you don't want to keep going with it, no one's forcing you to.
True.
But he decided to keep going. You know what I mean? And maybe that was with some encouragement, or
that's killing you with kindness.
What is?
It's that kind of comment. Oh, you don't have to do it, and then you're like, damn, they're like kind of into.
Well, no, I'm saying
Oh
his mom
no, yeah,
made it his choice. She's like, you don't have to do this.
uh
Like,
huh,
if you're that frustrated with it, then stop doing it and go back to the way you were doing it. But I think someone talked to him, or he had the wherewithal to know, like, this is gonna pay off in the long run.
for
Even
sure.
though I'm throwing up bricks right now,
And
this is gonna
yeah,
pay
I
off.
guess where I was saying that killing you with kindness kind of came with the comment of like, you can go back to doing what you were
Mm.
doing. Like that's just them saying what you were doing wasn't really working, right? And
Or it's not gonna work
it's not going
later.
to work later.
Yeah.
You're, in a sense, you're in hindsight, your dad was a professional basketball player who was a great shooter. I think he may know a little bit of what he's talking about and
Mm-hmm.
what his plan is for you long term. It's all I think kids.
Mm.
I watched a video last night of Klay Thompson. He said his one thing that a shooting coach told him when he was younger is shooting's like, think of a reverse waterfall. It's one fluid motion. And he's like going off and explaining his jump shot, and he turns around and he goes, now here's the thing, like you can't be great like I was overnight. It's going to take hours and hours and hours of repetition of doing it over and over and over again and being in the gym. He's like, you're going to miss shots, it is what it is, but that's what you have to do if you want to become like
Mm-hmm.
consistently like a great shooter. I mean, that was those Steph Curry made 105 3-pointers in a row one time.
Yep. Splashing them.
Nuts. That's
I
nuts.
I want to ask you this, Bush, and it's just kind of a little thing, but it's kind of nerdy basketball trainer
Uh-huh.
stuff. Like, what's your thought on kind of like the Steph Curry, the difference between like the Steph Curry set shot where he kind of, it's more of a push shot from the ground, and like a JJ Redick where it's he elevates and then he releases at the top of his jumper. Um,
Um,
because I was having this conversation with this kid, but I want to
okay.
hear your thoughts.
Um, it's it's a lot of consistency. It's just repetition after repetition. But if you watch their shot, if you watch them in slow motion, look at look at their elbow. How's their elbow and their shoulders? You know, their
Yeah.
elbows and their shoulders are always square to the basket. Steph Curry's
Well, I mean, like, I'm asking you, like, what, like, if you're gonna teach a kid to shoot, are what do you lean more towards? Because I feel like you have more of a set shot where
yeah,
you kind of push, and and I would say like your style of shot has more range than mine.
uh-huh. I
Because I
yeah,
elevate more and release at the top.
yeah. One thing I always try and tell kids like to get for me arc arc is a big thing for me if I'm going to be shooting those set shots further away too, like you're
Yeah.
saying. So getting under the basketball is super
Mm,
important. And so I always tell kids, I'm always like, you guys got to
under it.
get under the ball. Like you can't, I'm going
Yes.
to turn sideways, but you can't be shooting like this. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to be underneath the basketball, perfect beat.
Under, not behind. That's a great point, Bush, because not to cut you
Oh,
off,
go ahead.
but I've heard people say, get your hand behind the ball. It's like, no,
You're
that makes you
pushing.
push the ball outwards instead of lifting that ball up.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's a great
I
point.
think my two biggest points are being under the ball. Your elbow has to be in line with what you're doing, where your shot is. It can't
Mm.
be out, can't be in, because that changes the trajectory of your hand and how you follow through and whatnot. Now, some people like Nick are just crazy shooters and can do that like weird flick thing.
Yeah, he had that kind of side release,
It
but
was cash, so I'm not gonna
that
like
thing went
you don't
in.
change it. If it ain't broke, you don't fix it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But and two, he's just confidence. There's a lot of confidence in shooting, but put your hand in the cookie jar. I know it's so third grade, such a third grade term, but that has stuck with me forever. Is kids with a loose follow through who let their wrist just release and let their wrist just bounce like a bouncy ball. That's the most inconsistent shot release you're ever gonna get, because how you're not really controlling how much spin, power, and touch you have on it. It's just kind of just throwing it at the hoop. You could be under it, you can be doing everything right, but if your follow through and your wrist isn't like snapped down, like Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Ray Allen, all the great shooters, if it doesn't snap down like that, then you're not going to be consistent. So I always say, hand in a cookie jar. You got to finish with like you're reaching on the highest shelf in your house and your hand is going down in that jar type deal.
Mm.
I have a lot of weird little things in shooting that I've kind of created and
I
found.
can see you being a shooting guru,
Oh,
Bush.
I love it
I
because
can see
it's the
you
only thing I can
in
do.
10 years, having your own business where you're the shooting guru, that you
It's
do
the
some wacky stuff, but it ends up working.
it's the only thing that I was ever good at, and it's like I was confident in it. And that's one thing I tell every single kid. If you are not confident shooting the ball, do not shoot the ball because it's not going to go in. I don't care. Like, and I'm not trying to be mean, but you can't not be confident and start launching because
I think that's the best piece of advice my mom ever gave me. Shout out Mama Hilks. I remember I was in like 8th grade and I was just bricking threes. And I remember after a game, I think it was, you know, I don't know, Tuesday night or something
mm-hmm.
after a game. And she goes, "You're shooting like you don't even think you're going to make it.
Yeah,
Like you don't even look like you believe you're going to make it. So how is that ball going to go in?" And she don't know. Well, maybe she does nowadays. She's been around hoops for a while, but back then she didn't know basketball much at all, But that's a good point.
because and it's just like the next shot. Okay, you've missed 10 in a row, whatever. You're gonna make the
Mm-hmm.
next one. I'm gonna make this one. I'm gonna do all my. I'm not gonna overthink, and I'm just gonna grab it. I'm gonna shoot it, and it's gonna go in. That's just
Mm-hmm.
if you're a shoot, you have to have a shooter's mentality of that stuff's gone. That's in the past. I missed a couple, whatever. I'm gonna make my next one, and
Yeah.
that's what you see in all the great shooters, I guess, too. Um,
Yeah, I think Bush would just breaking down my two things is like getting under the ball, like you said. And I always tell kids that being a good shooter starts from your base.
yes, I
It
agree.
isn't. It isn't about. It isn't all about your. Obviously your release and all this stuff is important, but to me, if your base is bad and you have inconsistent footwork or whatever's going on with your base, there can be a million things going on, but um, if your base is bad, your whole shot's going to be bad from the
Yep.
start because it starts there.
Yeah. 100%. I agree. Your shot starts with your hips are such a big thing. I'll tell kids because I'm a big. I need to catch that ball and I need to get it out of my hands as fast as possible. I can't waste half a second because that half a second could lead to me not being able to get a shot off.
Yeah.
So I've been working with the kids. I'm like, okay, so what makes more sense? If I'm gonna if I'm shooting a pull up jumper on someone, am I gonna drive standing straight up, or am I gonna be low? That way, when I pick up my dribble, I'm already into my shooting motion, and I don't have to take that half a second to sink down and then rise back up. Same thing
It's
if you're
wasted motion,
same thing
man.
if you're standing straight up asking for the ball and then you sink down and stand up. That's a half a second of
Mm-hmm.
wasted motion that could lead to your shot getting blocked by someone closing out or not getting the shot off. So that's a big.
Yeah. And just not being ready,
Mhm. Yeah,
like
shot ready.
being sorry people, this is getting really basketball nerdy, but like
It's needed.
the amount of kids that just stand there like this waiting for the ball, and then when they catch it, it's like they're surprised that the ball came to them, and it's like, well, no wonder you threw up a brick, like you weren't even ready.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could go like you said, dude. I could go days on shooting on just the mechanics of shooting because I that's one thing that I love to study. I love studying Klay Thompson's shot. I love like all those guys, Paul George, Kobe, Steph, Melo. They all have similarities in their shot. All the good shooters
Mm-hmm.
have the same similarities in their form and in their shot. It's not rocket
Yeah.
science. You don't need to be doing all this crazy ass stuff. Just keep it simple.
Yes, indeed. It's always the key.
100%. Oh man, that was. I got that off my
Let's
chest.
call that a wrap right there. Yeah,
I got
that's
that one off my
we got a
chest.
nice little vent session um, on shooting and some good hoops talk. So
Also, for those that are real quick, since we're still on the shooting thing, I am in the middle of creating a workout, like a fundamental shooting workout that helps you with form and all that stuff. So if you're reading this and you're ever interested, you know my Twitter, you know my Instagram, you know our Instagram, just shoot me a message and I can definitely send that stuff. But it ain't coming for free. I will say that. Um, that ain't it ain't gonna be free. It ain't gonna be
uh,
expensive though either. So
you're gonna have to pay for that.
nah, yeah. I made a thing on out here. I did a thing on there's this thing on Facebook called Sundance Sports Page, and that's where I'm putting all my stuff and letting people know about stuff around here in the community. And I made that announcement. I said, hey, if you always can't make these morning workouts, because I charge $5 for a morning workout, which is super fair. I think that is a
Mm-hmm.
very fair price for an hour.
You're lowballing yourself, bushel
But
beans.
at the same, I'm in a small town, so it's super fair. If I was in like,
Even 10,
if I
dude.
was in,
Just do $10.
if I was in Denver or something like that, I'd be charging more. But for these kids, $5 to me is fine because some of them pay
I
their own.
respect
Some
it.
of these kids pay their own money. Their parents don't pay, so they
Mm.
pay money from their work. And anyway, and I didn't want to lose kids either by charging too much. $30 in a week for a high school kid's a lot of money if you think about it. So, but I told him it was like, if you want a workout, I'll create an hour workout, but it's gonna cost you $5 because it's only to keep it fair for the kids that do show up in the morning. You know, because I don't want to start handing out a free workout and then I lose kids in the morning. It's there
Yep.
has to be, you have to have like a formula around the whole situation.
That's fair, bushel beans. That's very fair.
Hooks, you inspired me to become the shooting guru, dude. So
Why?
I never thought about that, and that's gonna happen now.
Oh, just now I did.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
Have you ever seen that old dude that like made the world record for amount of free throws in a row or something?
Yeah.
That's gonna be you, bro.
Have you? Did you?
Just picture perfect.
Did you ever see that? Dude, my free. I'm cash from the free throw line. Super cash. But
I'm cash from the free throw line.
free throws are so easy, easier than a layup. Did you see? Do you remember that video of that guy that's in that gym and he's doing that absolutely absurd workout on all those dumbbells stacked up, and then there's an old man
and the old dude's in the back just drilling free throws,
just making every shot. And the comment is, I don't even know what this guy did for the workout, but did y'all see Grandpa in the back not miss?
Yeah. What was crazy about that video is like, I always say this, you know your shot was cash when you make it and it rolls back to you. Yes. You know, like that's how you know it was money. You make it, it kind of barely touches that back rim.
And bounces right back to you.
And it rolls right back to you. And every single shot of that old man was just rolling right back to him.
You know that's his workout every day. I'm just going to go shoot.
Gonna get my 50 free throws in. Gonna go 50 of 52.
Like you said, that's gonna be me. I can already see that. That's gonna be me because I want at some point in my life, I want my own gym with my own courts in it, all that stuff. I want my own like big gym.
Get your Dr. Dish or your gun and just rep out some jumpers, baby.
And then the kids will start coming. It's like it's the court of dreams, baby. The court of dreams.
If you build it, they will come.
The courts of dreams. I'm gonna steal that. I'm putting that. That's mine. Instead of the field of dreams.
Love it, dude. Freaking love it.
Absolutely. Got to give a shout out. I told them I would. They'll do it for us too. Another podcast. Some kids we knew, went to college with. Black Hills Boys are on Spotify right now. Some kids we went to school with. Cool dudes. They talk about sports. They're more footballish, I think. They're bigger football fans.
Yeah, I know Dave. Well, both of them. Is it Ben as well?
Yeah, there's Ben, and then there's two others.
I know both of those guys coach high school football
Yeah.
wherever they're at, or they were for a little
hmm
bit. So I'm sure they do some
And
football stuff.
and they got some good college stories. Because I'll be honest with you, we were in college the same time those guys were. So they were in kind of our group on the weekends in a sense, in a slight sense. So if you guys need a laugh, I'm sure that when they talk about
There's
their
some funny
life
dudes.
things,
They're good dudes.
yeah. But that's all.
Little plug to end it.
Yes, sir.
Episode 24, baby.
You know where to find us. You know all the platforms. We're gonna get a guest on soon. We promise. We have a guest lined up, but we are taking a step back. Personal reasons. That's all I'm gonna say. But hey, we're gonna get him on here very soon. And I think we're gonna have a lot of people who enjoy that. So, other than that, that's all. That's it.
We out. Kitchen Hook.
Peace.